guys, we have got to talk about this New York City influencer drama because there is so much being said on TikTok about this entire situation. It all started with one TikTok and someone saying that they thought that the New York City influencers were boring, and it's really spiraled into this huge conversation. There's a lot of opinions going around, and we're going to dive into everything being said. This whole drama surrounding the New York City influencers started with one video posted by TikToker Martini Feeney. She posted a video where she complained about New York City influencers being boring.
All right, guys, I'm just gonna say it. I hate all of the New York influencers. I think that they're boring as f, and they're all carbon copies of one another. They all wear the same exact bracelet. They all have the same exact hand chains that someone else influenced them to get. Yeah, they all look like they shop on Revolve. They're all just like basic ass skinny, but they're skinny and pretty, so stuff looks cute on them, but boring. No hate. They just bore the fuck out of me. Does anyone else agree? Like, I feel like they should be the influencees, not the influencers. I don't know. Not even the New York ones. Just like all the, like, these girls. They all get panic attacks. They all shop on Revolve. They all like, yeah, boring. Let me know if anyone agrees.
Now, it was pretty clear she was talking about a specific group of New York City influencers because as a whole, there's a ton of content creators who live in New York City, and the content definitely ranges a ton of different niches, which is why some people were clapping back at her saying, well, babe, maybe take a look at your following and reevaluate why you're bored, because who you're following and interacting with on your For You page, if you don't like them, then you gotta switch up what you're doing.
I don't want to hold your hand when I say this because your learned helplessness is honestly getting kind of gross to me. If your entire For You page is made up of the skinny, white, blonde, rich influencers that you hate, like, that's your fault. That's your fault. You are the boss of your For You page. Matter of fact, you are kind of the boss of the whole operation, low key. Like, I don't want to. But if you want to platform somebody else, if you want to see other people on these trips, if you want to see other people blow up, if you want to, then like, that's you. That's you.
Everyone's kikiing like, I want influencers with more personality. You don't watch the ones with personality. You like the, hi guys, this is where I put ice in my coffee. You watch that.
I just watched a video of a girl saying she doesn't like New York influencers. They're boring as fuck and they're all carbon copy of each other. And what that just told me is, you only watch white influencers. Because ain't no way you sitting there talking about New York influencers. When I think about New York, I think about Clark and I think about Emmy. If all I did for the next month was just watch both of their content, their old content, I will be entertained, okay? So for her to say like all New York influencers are carbon copy of each other, we can tell what you're watching. Like, show me who you're watching and I'll tell you why you think it's boring.
Influencers are actually not all boring and all the same, but maybe perhaps if you think that, you might be boring, because the internet is vast. There are many creators, established and aspiring, and if you choose to continuously interact with the same content or the same people or the same types of people, and you don't seek out new content, you don't seek out creators that don't look like you or don't live in the same place as you or don't do the same things as you, yeah, your For You page is going to be boring.
But not everyone was disagreeing with what she had to say, writing in her comments, Pilates, make coffee, journal, facial/self-care activity, some posts with sponsored link products, and or engagement posts repeat LMAO. Influencer culture in New York City makes zero sense because part of what makes NYC cool is the authenticity and individuality. Having so many carbon copies is phony. It is making the city boring. And she actually replied to this comment and said, no, the city is quite literally suffering. I'm so bored and I think influencer culture ruined it. Someone else said, like, girlies, go to a museum, a play, you live in New York, be cool and interesting. They all start with Pilates, then get matcha, and then get ready for an event later that night. My question to New York City influencers is, do y'all have any hobbies other than spending money? I agree, girl. Her video blew up with over 1 million views, and influencers in New York City started to respond to what she had to say, defending their name as a New York City influencer and disagreeing with what she had to say.
I really woke up this morning to so many like hateful videos on International Women's Day, and I was so shook by it. I scroll on my For You page these days and I literally see so many grown women so bitter commenting on other women's pages. I don't know if they feel like they're entitled to do that or if they're just jealous, but I think maybe us as a society, we've gotten too comfortable letting our jealousy and our ugly feelings be shown online, because we use it as a means of like, if we hate on someone else, maybe I'll get clout, and then therefore other people hop on the bandwagon with me, and then I feel better about myself because we're all hating on this other person. Honestly, this goes back to preschool. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. It's also, I'm not even saying it for my sake, I'm saying it for your sake. Your life is going to be miserable if you use your days and your minutes and your hours and your even your seconds to hate on someone else.
My time doing this, 5 years, I've met so many New York City content creators and spent time with a lot of them. I feel like I'm sort of on the outside of the New York City content scene, but I know all of these people. I've seen the content saying people hate influencers, they hate New York City creators, they think they're all the same. You're entitled to that opinion, entitled to feel frustrated, entitled to talk behind closed doors. It's just crazy to me how much like nastiness and negativity is going out into the world surrounding content creation in general.
Another influencer, Kit, who was on The Bachelor, actually, I really like her cooking videos, but she wrote in the comments of the original video saying, "I've never been disliked by someone I wanted to trade places with." The account Acquired Style also replied to the original video with a stitch, and in the comments of her stitch, Carly Weinstein wrote, "This girl seems like a really good time. No hate though." But Acquired Style deleted this video that she made in reply to the original New York City Girls Are Boring video. And people were then taking this as certain influencers taking this video too personal, as she didn't name any names in her original video. But I think people just felt who she was talking about and wanted to just respond in some ways, even if it wasn't directly about them, because it did end up becoming such a large conversation that a lot of people that create content in New York City did decide to join the convo. Granted, it made it even bigger with everyone responding, but clearly people just felt that they wanted to speak out and defend the New York City influencer name. But not everyone felt the addressing it was necessary.
Did I miss something? Or why is one random girl making a video saying that she thinks New York influencers are boring, causing them all to crash out? Because I've seen video after video after video of these girls crashing out. Girls, don't you get hate comments every day? All day, every day? Why is this one random comment striking a nerve in this way? I'm not saying this to be a hater. I'm just genuinely surprised that some of your guys' skin is this thin after being in the public eye for so long. Maybe I'm weird, but I love hate comments. I let through every single hate comment that I get that gets filtered out, unless it's like objectively offensive about other people or groups of people.
Now, because the conversation got so big, Martini Feeney posted a couple more times to talk about the drama and defend her opinions a bit.
This is so funny to me. All right, just because like I have an opinion doesn't make me a woman hater. Just because I find some people boring whose name I didn't mention doesn't make me mean. Just because I have an opinion doesn't make me mean. Yeah, I don't know who told you guys that equals being mean, but like having an opinion and an original thought doesn't make me a woman hater anyway.
She also said in the description, "Hey everyone, so glad that I'm not the only one who wants to see something original. Sue me. Also, I didn't mention anyone, so if you think my previous post was about you, then so be it." She later ended up clearing up her stance on what kind of New York City influencer she dislikes.
Okay guys, I need to fine tune my previous video. I don't hate all New York influencers. I am finding a very specific type of quote-unquote New York City fashion influencer to be redundant and boring at this point. And that's not who I see on my For You page. That's not even like a full picture of what New York is, but unfortunately, a lot of the time, the type of person that brands are working with, and I find it to be redundant, and I find it to be extremely boring and played out. And I think it's time for other people to have a seat at the table who add like personal style, spunk, creativeness, like vamp it up a bit. It's time for like an influencer revolution.
It's really stirred up this whole conversation of some people agreeing while others feel there's plenty of creators out there and she just needs to find them. Though if I'm being honest a bit, I feel like she low-key kind of wants to be blown up as a fashion TikToker and is just a little upset that these girls that she sees blowing up, she doesn't really love or think that they're original or something, because Martini Fini posts fashion content. She posts haul videos, on vacation, outfit ideas. I know some people were thinking that maybe she's just jealous and that's why she was saying this. And I mean, I don't know if I always agree with all haters are just jealous, but in this case, I don't know, maybe. It's not a bad thing either. A lot of these girls, people assume she's talking about travel. They get sent items from luxury brands. They go on luxury brand trips. They live it up. They're well paid and they talk about, you know, all the things that they're able to afford and do, and the apartments that they have and the furniture that they can buy. And of course, that's something to envy. But if the content just isn't for you, then just move on along. Though I feel like following influencers who do influency things is like a bubble in itself. And if you don't like that bubble, follow the girlies that do something else. I don't know. But that's what's going on in the New York City influencer space. That's what's been said. That's been the whole drama this past week. I want to know what you guys think about this whole drama. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.